I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing something. Thank God, I guess. I don't know.
Just make sure it's no swearing or anything because we've been live this entire time.
Oh, have we?
Yes.
A little warning. A little warning.
As
So,
Jonathan was trying to share the live to, I believe, our Go Fast Solutions dealer page. I don't know exactly what you were doing over there.
yeah, sharing on my page, Go Fast Dealer page, and our industry pages.
Liking some stuff on there. You were signing up for some magazine subscriptions or something. I don't know.
Well, I was trying to cancel my Playboy magazine subscription before it got home, and my, Shelby sees it on the counter.
She could be watching this now.
She always watches it.
Here we go.
What's up, boys and girls? Jonathan Mercado
Ben Rudnick.
here for another exciting episode of Facebook Wednesday.
Yes, sir. And
What are we calling today? Because we really didn't even talk about this.
Well, I think this is going to be an easy one. We have a special vendor spotlight today.
Mm-hmm.
They like it loud, and we like it fast. So this is like a go loud, go fast Wednesday. How about that?
I like it. That sounds pretty good.
Okay, we'll take it.
So pretty much you guys already know. Obviously DS18 likes it loud. So we'll discuss DS18 later when we get into our vendor of the month week. Sorry, vendor of the week.
They could be a month. They're a very special partner of ours. They could be a month long.
Absolutely.
As well.
So let's start off with a couple of house cleaning stuff. So Knowledge Fest recap. Guys, I just want to say thank you for every single one of you that voted for us. Go Fast was voted the distributor of the year out of all the distributors in the United States. We were against some of the best in the industry. Shout outs to the other two members that were on that top 3 list. We're all EDA members. That's big kudos that all 3 EDA members got on that list. So shout out to all the distributors that joined on, to that competition. And thank you for everybody that voted for us for Distributor of the Year. I didn't win it this year, but that's all right. I'm cool with it. Phil won it this year as Sales Rep of the Year. Shout out to him. Well deserved. Some of the hardest working sales reps are on that list. I'll tell you that right now. Not saying that some of the sales reps in this industry don't work as hard. It's just saying in general that those guys on the top 5 are one of the hardest working. You hear their name a lot. You see them a lot. You know what I mean? They're always doing their thing. So shout out to those guys, for obviously being on the list. And also to all the guys that participated on that list. Hopefully next year on the awards, we'll see more and more people on that list, including more in our industry in New England. So it'd be nice to see more shops. It'd be nice to see more dealers, etc. Going for like top 5, top 10. Shout out to Mike Hungerford for making it, on the top. I think it was top 12 shops in the industry. So that's nice to see.
Yeah, and I want to go out there and again, I said it while you were out. We're doing a little recap again. Jonathan was not. This is a few weeks ago. Obviously, you were out
I was feeling good.
Out the past couple Facebook lives. So Bob was stepping in. You're still the sales rep of the year in my heart, buddy.
Oh,
always.
buddy.
I see this again. I say it all the time. But I see this guy hustling out there. But congratulations to Phil. One thing I will say though, awesome to see that still a lot of representation when it comes to top reps and things in our area, in our territory. It's one of those things where competition and all those kind of things, it raises everybody's game. So it's really great to see that we're keeping the sales rep of the year in the territory. And Phil, we love you, buddy, but I got a feeling Jonathan's going to be coming pretty hard for you next year. So, that's not that thing could be rented right now. It's going to be very hotly contested. But congratulations again, very, very well deserved. But also, we're going to be talking about another Knowledge Fest that's going to be coming up. And I was interested when you were in Las Vegas. You weren't just there to get awards. You got to actually see what went on.
Yeah, let me recap a little bit what went on, in Las Vegas. So, guys, if you guys aren't going to these events, shame on you. It's literally a weekend of trainings, a weekend of networking with all the other shops around the industry. It's a weekend of getting your learn on new product lines, getting your learn on just workshops. They have like some really, really good workshops like custom designing, laser etching, DSP tuning, stuff that I think this industry really, really needs. A lot of guys actually really, really need this type of stuff. And the reason I'm saying is, not trying to throw jabs at anybody, no way, shape, or form. I'm just trying to say that vehicles are changing. They're changing very, very quickly. You know, a lot of guys are asking me questions how to add sound systems into, you know, e-cars, you know, Teslas, Hondas, the new Honda CR, HRV, or whatever it's called, some weird name, Kias, um, pretty much anything that's electronic vehicle. A lot of guys have a million questions, and believe it or not, at Knowledge Fest, it was around those types of vehicles because the future's not stopping. The future's going to move forward. So there's a lot of companies showcasing, you know, Teslas on the showroom floor. I got to see you know, the Alpine vehicle with their outfitted plug and play system for the new Teslas. I got to see Rydeen had a pretty cool bunch of Tesla stuff they're coming out with. The WaveTech vehicle, the e-tron, Audi e-tron, that was another thing that I saw. They had a subwoofer that was in that vehicle with their amplifiers that actually sounded amazing, believe it or not. And they were saying that it only takes 1 volt or 1 watt, 1 percentage per hour of being played, which is the same as that Alpine said about their system. So that was pretty cool to see. There was a bunch of other stuff that was at Knowledge Fest. And like I said, training classes were the highlights of the whole, you know, weekend. There was training classes from the minute you woke up at 7:30, 8 o'clock, all the way up to 9, 10 o'clock at night. And it was just grinding, learning about new products, talking about what you're going to see in the near future, what those products and how they were combined into those electronic vehicles. You know, like I stated earlier, it is the future, guys. You have to make sure you're up to par with all these trainings. And like Ben said, I'm gonna twist it up for him.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm glad that you got to say that because I think that's the biggest takeaway. It's cool that you get the recognition. We talked a lot about that. And Bob did talk about things like the riding Teslas and all that.
Yeah.
But there's so many questions that we get, especially now, you know, because again, we've been sales support, but we're also technical support for a lot of you guys out there. We get so many questions on new vehicle integration. We get so many questions on electric vehicles. These are things that even we are not going to be familiar with, guys, because we're not working on these cars. This is all new stuff that's out there, so we have to learn. You know, again, we'll rely on a lot of the experience that we have to troubleshoot and to help you guys out, and we'll do the best that we can. But we're not going to have all the answers for this stuff right now. It's imperative for you guys to educate yourself, get these answers. You know, when we partner up with shows, again, we're going to be going to a Knowledge Fest in Atlantic City. And that's going to be coming up in June, the 7th through the 9th. It's a huge opportunity to go get this kind of training hands-on. I guarantee you Jonathan is going to have some knowledge now that I'm not going to have. I'm going to be relying on Jonathan for pieces of knowledge that he gained while he was at K-Fest. So going to these events, very, very imperative. Make sure you come to that one that's going to be going on in June and all the other trainings that we put on virtually.
And let me add one more thing before I forget. I know that, you know, electronic vehicles were a big highlight of the show, but what was another big highlight at the show was, believe it or not, Harley audio. You know, that was a humongous take on, you know, there was several vendors there with Harleys there with audio. Believe it or not, guys, Harleys is a humongous market. That's, you know, the guys that are getting involved with the Harleys understand now that it's an untapped market. And there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of Harleys out there. Guys that are looking to spend money, looking to spend good money, because your average Harley is about $30,000 when you buy it brand new out the dealership. You know what I mean? You could go as crazy as $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 for a Harley Davidson. And one thing that it has in common, that boom audio or whatever it's called, a lot of people complain about that it's not loud enough and it's not clear enough. So this is your opportunity to shine and get trained on getting audio into these vehicles. You know, I saw a ton of vendors that had bikes there with their audio equipment in there. You know, Diamond, Cicada, I could go on and on the list, that had physical bikes there and had audio in it, and they were just blasting it, and people were just crowding around those bikes because it's all new. A lot of guys never even touched a Harley, don't even understand how to work on a Harley. And reality is that this is the future, guys. Guys are buying these Harleys, even if on the low side you buy a used one, you buy one cheap. the first thing you're gonna do is change out the audio. I know that for a fact because they sound like crap. So, you're riding, you got helmet on, you got the Screaming Eagle pipes in the back. You're just it's loud. So you need louder audio and better sound quality than you normally are used to. So definitely take a look at all these vendors. There's a vendor that we have in front of us that legit does a lot of things for Harleys too. So just make sure, you do research and you go to these events like Ben said. Knowledge Fest in Atlantic City is this year. Mark your calendars, like Ben said, June 7th and 9th. You're gonna show a lot of different things at that Knowledge Fest. We at GoFast are gonna have one of the largest booths at that show, a 20 by 50, the largest footprint of the show. And we're gonna have quite a few vendors in there showcasing their products, just to get you a feel of what you're open to when you become part of a GoFast family member.
Yeah, and this year in particular, guys, I mean, we've already talked about, teased about Alpine coming out with some Tesla stuff, Rydeen coming out with some Tesla stuff. There's going to be a ton. I'm not going to highlight everybody because we want to make sure we focus on our vendor spotlight here, but there are tons of new products coming out from vendors across the board. So 2024 is not going to be a year of, we've had the same stuff for a couple years. We're just going to kind of ride this one out. There's a lot of new stuff being introduced, a lot of things you guys have been asking for, integration into new vehicles, into vehicles that haven't been messed with quite yet. We're going to see a lot more stuff like that coming out. And again, best way to get yourself prepared is to go to these live training events. I mean, that's going to be the best way. Again, trainings, but also the networking, getting out, talking to the vendors, establishing those connections. You get to talk to a lot of decision makers. You get to talk to a lot of techs. Establishing those relationships, making it a familiar thing for you is only going to help your businesses out. But you also get to have a little fun too, and I don't want to gloss over this. GoFast is going to be partnering up with Davis Distributing and be putting on the biggest 12-volt party of the year at the Hard Rock Casino, and that's going to be on June 7th. So that's a great way to kick off K-Fest. I'm very, very excited for it. It is going to be an invite-only affair, so this is not just open to the public. We want to make sure this is a VIP thing, so let us know if you guys are planning on going down there. We do have a little bit of time to plan, which is nice. We're in February, so March, April, May. We got like 4 months to go. It's going to go fast, so put it on your calendars, and then let us know when you start to book those things. We'd love to partner up with you. Make sure you come and visit us at the GoFast booth. And then make sure that we help you visit all the vendor partners that are going to be there as well.
Correct. So make sure you get a hold of your GoFast Solutions rep and also your Davis rep and ask about that party. Like Ben said, June 7th. It's going to be a big after party after the show. We'd love to have you guys there. Just make sure you ask and, we'll deliver.
Yeah, there we go. And then another thing we have going on, this one's going to be a little bit earlier. We don't have the hard date yet. We're still working on that. We want to make sure it works for everybody, but we're going to be doing a grand opening in our Hicksville location. Jonathan and I have talked about this in some previous episodes as well. Tremendous opportunity to go take a look at the new location. Again, meet and greet live and in person. So again, establish that connection. And then while you're there, we'll treat you nice, but you get a chance to look around and see what GoFast has to offer that maybe you haven't been aware of, maybe a category you've been thinking about getting into, but you haven't fully jumped in yet. So it's going to be a tremendous opportunity. More details to come on that.
And for anybody who wonders what we do a lot of things. We literally get into the racing world, the truck accessories with, new amp research side steps.
Available now.
Yeah, available now. E3 spark plugs. For any of you guys that know racing or are in racing, know E3 spark plugs. We carry them. You've got that. You've got a bunch of new lines that we just brought in, that we would definitely like for you guys to check out just because it might be something that you want to. Remember what we say, don't be a one-trick pony. Expand your horizons. Make sure you try something, something additional into your shops to bring added revenue. This is kind of the added revenue streamline. There's a reason why truck accessory shops are killing it with this stuff. There's a reason why performance shops are killing it with this shop. So getting a few accessories in your shops to show your dealers and your customers that you are in the category helps you out a ton. So check out our website, gofst.com. If you have not registered, make sure you get a hold of your sales rep and we'll get you access to the website. Other thing I want to talk about is Sirius XM, buy five get one free. We haven't really said that much
I know.
in a
Still
while.
going, baby. It's still going.
So remember, you buy 5 tuners, you get one free, guys. So get a hold of your sales rep. That's still going on. I think it's going to go on for a few more months. Get a hold of that promo. It nets you down to next to nothing for these tuners, and it adds added revenue into your shops.
Yeah, and I just want to say these promotions continue when they're successful. So, as much as we love to sell things at Full Boat Makeout, we also love promotions. We love promotions, and we love the opportunity for you guys to make more money and to make more profit. Keep supporting all the promotions that we talk about, and we promise you we'll keep them coming.
Next thing we got going on is get a hold of your sales rep. There is a Kenwood promotion going on right now through Go Fast Solutions. Deep discounts on most CarPlay Android Auto units.
Could probably hook up a Sirius XM tuner to those babies too.
So they work hand in hand, actually. You sell a radio, if it says Sirius XM ready, guess what? Sell a tuner, makes you more money. Added more money, more install, but you get more added install. Budget on the whole pricing. Guys, it's a win-win for everything. So there's Kenwood promotions. There's also JVC promotions and also Sony promotions going on right now. So make sure that you get a hold of your sales reps because we got it in stock and we got it on a deal.
Yeah, and we have another brand that did not want to be left out. That's Alpine. So we talk about Alpine a lot. You do have to be an approved dealer for this, so either a flagship or an SRP dealer. If you are not and you're interested in the Alpine line, reach out to your Go Fast Solutions sales rep. We'll help facilitate that process. But for those that are, they have some tremendous bundles going on right now. So they do have just straight sales, a little map holiday that they have. I'm going to look at the notes. Think Spring Savings, that's what it was. The Think Spring Savings promo. So a ton of options on speakers, subwoofers, amplifiers. Again, big profit drivers right now. And again, that's times like this when we're kind of in that period where I don't know if I want to say remote starter season's fading away yet, and kind of audio is creeping.
I don't know because
it's more snow out there right now than there's been all year. So I don't know.
And we've had a lot of audio all season long.
So I don't know exactly where we're at, but I can tell you it is a great time to have a promotion like this. So make sure you check out that promotion. But also they have 5 great bundle deals. Now these are bundle deals where you can save up to 20%, and it's going to be a little bit more than what we'll talk about right now. But get with your sales rep on those. Again, it is something that you have to be approved for. So all you Alpine guys right now, make sure you let us know, hey, tell me about those promotions, or hopefully we'll just tell you about them even if you don't want to hear about them.
Yeah.
But if you say, you know what, I've always been thinking about it. Alpine's a great brand. I'd love to partner up with them. Go ahead and let us know, and we'll see if we can facilitate that process for you.
And guys, just remember, there's a lot of deals going on right now. But you know what's going on right now that I know that's going on right now because I hear from you guys. Tax season's upon us, guys. Ooh. So you know what that means. A lot of customers are getting their income taxes back, and they're spending money. So make sure you get a hold of some of that money. You have your shops stocked up. You have you buy into some of these deals, so you'll make more money in the end. In the end game. Make sure that you constantly look presentable because right now guys are going into shops and they're looking around. And if you have a hole in the wall or you have missing speakers or you have nothing to show on the showroom floor, you're going to lose out on those big dollar sales. So make sure you're looking around your showroom floor. I say do the old trick. Take a picture with your cell phone. Cha-ching, 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 right? And bring it to like a family member or a friend and just have them give you their honest opinion. You'll probably sometimes like what they say. Some of you might not like what they say. It's a give or take. If you don't like what they say, it's time to correct your situation.
Perfect opportunity to make a change. Yeah, that's a beautiful, when somebody goes ahead and gives you that kind of, especially a loved one, gives you that kind of, I'll say constructive criticism, that's a beautiful gift. Gives you an opportunity to just get better. Great time to get better.
Don't take it as an insult. Take it as a course of learning, a course of making yourself better. So make sure that your showroom floors. I hate when I go into a shop and I see their board, the radio board, missing speakers and missing radios. To me, that says that you're going out of business. You know what I mean? I get the whole you sell it. You don't have any in stock. You look at your board, you go, oh, I got one on the board, you remove it. But as you're removing, put one back in, or have a guy put something in there, even if it's a duplicate radio. Just make sure that you don't have any holes, because it does represent you as a business owner and as a business that, you know, you want to make yourself seem busier than life. There's a saying. People like shopping at places that seem busier life. That's why when I was in retail, we had all our employees, if it was a slow day, park their cars in the front. So it looks like we're busy, you know what I mean? Because it's a mind game. It really is with a lot of these customers. If you go into a shop and you don't see any cars in the front, you're like, well, is this shop, what are they doing?
Nobody working the desk, no speakers in there, you know, you go in and you're hanging out in the back room. This is the time when the shops that are well-oiled machines, that are top of their game, they really thrive. And this is when shops that maybe haven't done as much due diligence, or maybe haven't invested in the business as much, start to see some holes in their game. So great time to improve on that. And now that we're talking about having some holes in the speaker boards, we have a promo going on right now.
And it ends at the end of this month.
That will go ahead and help you fill that board. And one thing I want to say to that, anytime you have any holes, anytime you pull something off of your display, again, it has to happen at points in time, even if you try not to. Remember, Go Fast is a day away for most of you guys, and I think in the entire country, we're only a couple days away. But for our territory, we're only a day away, so you shouldn't have a hole in your boards for more than a day. You see a hole, you call up Jonathan, you call up one of the sales guys, you say, hey, throw me a set of 6.5s, I got to put them in the board, and hey, what do you have for promos going on right now? I want to see if I could stock up, maybe throw some back stock in there as well. But don't go for more than a day, because you're a day shipping away from us.
Oh, before I forget, we just picked up also a pretty interesting line that all you guys, probably even shop owners, I know you guys have demo cars and you have, you know, a lot of you guys are gearheads at heart. We picked up Autometer. For all you that don't know Autometer, take a look at any race car. Take a look at any street car. Take a look at any gauges you see out at like Pep Boy, Advanced, AutoZone, you know, Autometers there. Guys, we carry all the gauges in stock. They make a ton of different gauges. So make sure you get us, once again, expanding your horizon, not being a one-trick pony. A lot of you guys that deal with car audio, guys, believe it or not, are race guys too. So the guys that see gauges at your shops, guess what? They're gonna look at it and be like, oh, you sell gauges too? Now it's gonna light up a light bulb, and let me get some of those. Let me get some of this. Let me get a boost gauge. Let me get an air to fuel gauge. Let me get an RPM tach. You know, let me get a shift light. I could go on and on with all the gauges that you have that you can sell. That, believe it or not, a race head, a gear head will know and would want if they see it at your shop. So make sure you get a hold of your sales rep, because we do have it in stock. Another
I was going to say real quick, we probably have to do a live where we could just go over some of those new categories. We're going to put that on the schedule there for you, because I think that's a great point. Mm-hmm. But there's also other lines that we just brought in. Rigid lighting is another line that we have brought in. So again, I think
amp research steps.
Again, we're going to have to dedicate a whole Facebook Live. Maybe over the next couple of weeks, we're going to dedicate a Facebook Live to all the new family members that Go Fast has brought in. But while you're selling them the gauges and stuff like that, you can also maybe sell them a Blaupunk e-bike. And why would you do that? Well, it's because you won it in the Sony Love at First Beat contest. How about that? Look at that little transition.
So, guys, it's pretty easy. It really is. You've got until the end of this month, February 29th. You know, it is a leap year. I keep forgetting it's a leap year, so I was going to say February 28th. But you got until February 29th, and it's a very, very, very easy task. You buy one Sony GS speaker or subwoofer, 6.5, 6x9, 6.5 components, 6x8s, etc.
Fill in the holes in the board.
Yeah, fill in the holes in the board. Subwoofers, a 10-inch and a 12-inch GS series. All right, ask your sales reps. I've seen up to 60% retail markup on these speakers. I don't know too many lines that are up to 60% retail markup. And you know Sony, if it's online, it's at full retail. They don't play that game of, you know, sideways selling. They want their stuff to be online, full retail, so it gives you added margin, and it gives you guys the support you guys need on the line. So Sony's got you buy one, and for every entry, and we got guys that have supported this pretty large, should I say, supported this promo. It's as simple as every order, hey, add a 6.5-inch speaker in there, add a 6.5 component. You get a chance to win an e-bike, a Blaupunk e-bike. Blaupunk e-bikes, if you haven't heard or know, there's only one of 2 bikes in New York that are allowed to be sold in New York State and New York Island. It is a Blaupunk e-bike, is a UL rated bike, so that's one of 2. Believe it or not, that's huge. Why? Because if you're in the New York territory,
I wonder who's in the New York territory. Yeah. Go Fast.
Go Fast Solutions. If you're in the New York territory and you want to expand your horizons on, other categories, that's one of the brands or one of the categories you can get into and not have to worry about anything. Why? Because it is certified to be sold in New York. So guys, if you're not getting a hold of these e-bikes, I keep mentioning it. We keep mentioning it off of every Facebook Live. It is expanding, thinking outside the box.
Yeah, you can just pick one up today if you want. If you say, you know what, I know I can get rid of some of those things. I see that these things are going for big money. I know I can make big money by selling them. It's going to fit perfect. Get with us. Let's get something out on your showroom floor. We could start this as soon as tomorrow for you. But if you say, you know what, I like this idea of a contest. I like winning things. Well, we're going to give you an opportunity. Like Jonathan said, one purchase of the Sony GS speaker line or subwoofer line gets you an entry, but you don't have to limit it to one. You can buy as many as you want and earn as many entries as you want. And to help facilitate that, we're doing a Baker's Dozen sale as well. So for those that don't know what that is, you buy 12, there's your dozen. Well, the baker needs one for himself. There you go. We're going to give you a free one, again, to put in the boards, put in a demo vehicle, or just to put into stock and cost average down your inventory. But a huge opportunity. Big money makers. Again, I'm just going to reiterate what Jonathan said. I traveled with these speakers, and the biggest takeaway, the biggest wow factor came from how much profit there are in these speakers. Again, great sounding. It's great construction. Great name. We can go on and on. But when you see the money, green is very popular even in the wintertime.
I challenge any one of you, if you don't believe us, just take a look at an XS-160 GS on Crutchfield, online, and then call your sales rep to see what they cost you. And I guarantee you there's money to be had. And I just want to say shout out to Sony for putting together this competition also. You guys are always thinking outside the box. We've had more and more vendors actually doing this type of competition. We had a Sirius XM one, which that was huge. Everybody just jumped all over that. Now we've got the Sony GS speaker lineup and subwoofer lineup competition going on, and a lot of guys are taking advantage of that. Guys, it's as simple as one purchase could win you a $1,600 e-bike for free. $0 out of your pocket for free. Obviously, if you pick up, it makes it even the ultimate free. If you need it shipped out, it's a different story, but ship it out with your order, and you won't even see that.
Hey, big enough order, Jonathan will ride it right to your shop for you.
Yeah, pretty much. It gets 70 miles, so till empty.
As long as within 70 miles.
I'll pedal all the way to make sure we got that 70 miles. But thank you guys for that. And then we want to talk about our vendor spotlight of the week. So this week is going to be DS18. A lot of you guys know it. A lot of you guys know the brand. A lot of you guys know what DS18 does. This is kind of where the industry has gone to with loudspeaker setups. They're starting to get really involved with a lot of different things. So they've got like Bronco speaker adapters, which a lot of guys are asking about that. They've got Jeep Wrangler subwoofer boxes for both the JL and the JKs. They also have a Bronco style one that comes already with the subwoofer for the back tailgate of the Bronco.
Oh, and one thing, that also works on the TJs as well. We found out, thanks to David Rolling Thunder, doing a little research, it's a TJ fit as well.
So it does fit on TJs, huh? The older
so
Wranglers.
You can go back a little farther, too.
And, they make sound bars for the Jeep Wranglers at the top. They also make Bronco sound bars. And I keep mentioning Broncos. Believe it or not, I'm starting to see more and more out there driving around. Guys are really starting to gravitate to the Ford Bronco. I think it's a great looking truck. If I were to own one, If I were to own some off-road vehicle like a Wrangler or a Bronco, I think I would go with the Bronco, just because I don't know. I just like that bigger space, more room. You know what I mean?
There's like a little there's like a little fight going on
Yeah.
now between those there's Jeep
Oh.
guys and Bronco guys.
Apple and Android, you know?
I will say one thing though. So it's again, if you could be a Bronco guy, somebody else could be a Jeep guy. Maybe you don't see head to head, but one thing both would agree on: the factory audio systems.
Poo-poo.
Not-
Absolute poo-poo. I don't know
They
why.
they could come together on that. At
Dude, I
least.
don't know what manufacturer thought it was a great idea to put 4-inch speakers in any vehicle at that case. I don't care what it is. 4-inch speakers suck. They do. And you're so limited with 4-inch speakers. And that's the biggest complaint you'll get off of a Wrangler guy, which is including the new JL, even the JKs. They said it's the audio just horrendous. I got a neighbor, horrendous. I tell her that all the time. Broncos, that's another big complaint. You pay 50 grand for a truck, hence Wrangler also, and you get the worst audio system you can possibly find. It sounds like I have a little boom box in the back of my truck with like static, and you could barely hear it. Guys, DS18 has developed things to work with those vehicles. They also developed a roll bar. I was going to get to that. A roll bar that goes in back of for both Wranglers and Broncos that uses loudspeakers and tweeters. Now you're thinking, oh, loudspeakers. But reality is guys, that loudspeakers, you've got the loud tweeters. It's really taking over the market. There's reasons why Harleys are starting to use it. Slingshots are starting to
I was
use
going
it.
to say they've got also vehicle-specific kits for things like Harleys and Slingshots. So not just the Bronco and the Jeep, tons of stuff that you're not going to see. Again, pod adapters for things like a Slingshot. You don't see a lot of that out in the market right now, which is very, very surprising. DS18 got it. They got it in stock.
Not only that, they make some pretty cool high-powered amplifiers. Look how tiny this thing is. Literally, this thing is IP67 rated, so you can take this, submerge it in water, and it'll work. So think about motorcycles. Think about Harley. Wow, Harleys are motorcycles.
They go wet too.
Boats. Think about even Wranglers and Broncos, where you have limited spaces to put amplifiers in. Look how small this thing is, and it's been tested to put out some serious power. I think over 160 watts RMS per channel at 4 ohms. At 2 ohms, looking at it, I want to say like 225, 250-ish around there. Guys, if you're looking for something that's going to really give a kick in the back of the customer's head and it's going to be waterproof, this is your choice right here. They, works well with all the vehicles. They make LED light-up grills. Now, some of you guys, you go, oh, LED light-up grill, 1990s calling for their light-up underglow and all that stuff.
1990s is back again, buddy. It's back.
My point that I was going to make. Have you
It's
seen,
back.
have you looked outside at night? Have you seen how many vehicles are lit up? Rock lights, underglow light, chasing lights, interior lights. Believe it or not, light up grills, humongous category. DS18 makes a Bluetooth adapter for the vehicles. Like, let's say you got a classic vehicle and you want to add some audio. They got Bluetooth adapter, so it allows you to stream off your phone. They make amp kits from 8 gauge all the way to 0 gauge. They make loudspeaker tweeters with screw-ons. They make some pretty bad speakers that actually has a compression horn. And as you can see, there's no tweeter protrusion.
Yeah, and one thing really quick on these, you're seeing a lot more of these style speakers going out in the market right now. Very, very hot. And I will say, almost everything that I've heard is tremendous. So whether it's DS18 and other brands, really, really great. But I will tell you one thing DS18 has versus a lot of those other brands, a very, very affordable price point. That this will help you reach some of the customers that maybe have heard a demo bike that you put together that's a $15,000 audio system. They tell you that's exactly what they want. You say, all right, sign right here in the dotted line for $15,000. They say, actually, do you have something a little bit more in my price range? Well, now you've got an option that will still impress the customer, but also keep a little bit of money in the wallet for them.
Correct. These are hybrids. So they make these in 6.5, 8-inch, and also 10 inches. Like I stated earlier, compression horn tweeter. These are, believe it or not, waterproof. Not gonna say waterproof because nothing's really 100% waterproof, but it's water resistant. So if you just happen to put it in a slingshot, Harley, etc., and it gets splashed on or rain on, you don't have to worry about it. It does have a membrane in front of the tweeter, the compression tweeter, to keep the water from actually going in and ruining the tweeter. Excuse me. So DS18 does a lot of this type of stuff.
Yeah, and if say you got somebody that wants to put a dozen of those in, they want to build a wall that's got six and a halves in each of their doors, and they want to run everything off of 1 amp. DS18 got something for that too.
Yeah, they got some big amplifiers. They've got some smaller amplifiers, hence the marine one that you're looking at right here. They have your typical amplifiers that are even smaller. Now, it's not just about loudspeakers, guys. You can make a loudspeaker system setup correctly, not correctly, but sound awesome by using DSPs. DS18 makes DSPs also. They still make the EQ and crossover, which, I don't know why people still use them, but they do instead of DSPs. But they make all sorts of different items in categories. They also make bullet tweeters for those factory locations that you want to just, you want a little bit more vocal. You can screw these on. They're about this deep. They're not deep at all. And they come with the bass blockers. Most of the tweeters, compression horn, they make a compression horn also system setup. When I get asked, why is it that I'm seeing more and more vendors doing loudspeakers? I'm going to tell you why. Because people are starting to adapt to the loudspeaker setups. They're starting to really understand how to manipulate the frequencies to not make it so ear piercing, make it sound loud, but make it sound good. And it's all done through DSPs and all done through time alignment. You're starting to see more and more radios out there with built-in DSPs. So there's a reason why they're going that route, is because it's a request, believe it or not, that the community is doing, that your customers are doing, coming into your stores and really, really wanting louder, more, cost-effective setup for their vehicles. Real quick story that I have to tell before I get off of this whole, the whole talking about the loudspeaker setups. But I had a customer call me up, say, hey, I got a customer here. He's looking for some really, really good speakers. Sell me something so that I can tell him about it and sell it to him. All right. About an hour later, I get a phone call back, and he's saying that the customer's upset because, he didn't get what he wanted. And he looked at some coaxials that I sold the customer originally and said, that's not what I wanted. So the point that I'm trying to make is qualify your customers when they come into your store. See what type of customer they are. There's a lot of different customers out there. There's a subtle sounding customer, and then there's these, loudspeaker customers. Come to find out that customer, what he wanted, believe it or not, was a loudspeaker setup. So I ended up selling them loudspeaker setups. That customer, they installed it, super happy. But the point is, qualify your customers. Go to these trainings, learn about product lines, and ask the simple questions. What are you looking for? When do you want to do it? How much you're looking to spend? And you will literally have a sale in your hands by just asking the basic questions. Because the customers that you think, and I was, profiled, should I say, at a specific dealership, and that dealership, he practically profiled me saying that I couldn't afford a certain vehicle. Well, an hour later, I drove by that same dealership with the same car that I wanted. And, the reason that I'm making that statement is never profile your customers. Because at the end of the day, they are the ones paying your bills. And you are in the business to make as much money as possible. So make sure you always qualify the customer.
Yeah, and I think that's very, very important. Again, this is another tool that you guys have in your arsenal. And I just want to highlight some of the things that Jonathan was saying. We still get a lot of pushback on pro audio stuff, which everybody's got the choice. You don't have to sell the stuff in your store. What I can tell you is that there's people in your area and there is competition that is selling it and is very, very successful. I guess the only thing I would say is think about for a second, if you were, instead of a car audio shop, you were a pizza place. Barry's going to get a little kick out of this one. But again, you have your personal preferences. You like pepperoni pizza, and that's pretty much it. So now all of a sudden you make a really great pepperoni pizza, and guess what? There's a lot of people that do too. But you're also going to get some people that maybe want a cheese pizza or a white pizza. Maybe they're going to want a veggie pizza. Maybe they're going to want a pizza that you don't personally like. But the thing is, you're a shop, you're there for the solution. So even if it's not something that you personally like, you probably would still make it for them. Again, somebody asked for a pineapple pizza. I think Barry's probably going to get up from his desk and come beat me up for even saying that. But again, that may not be something that you would like, but the customer's willing to pay you money for it. You want to still be able to offer that out to them. Same thing here. I think the biggest thing is that people are getting in the way is their own taste in a brand or a certain type of music or a certain type of speaker. It's very, very important to make sure that you are familiar with this, even if it's not your cup of tea, even if it's something that you wouldn't put in your vehicle. Again, I think that whole concept is flawed. This is tremendous stuff, tremendous sounding stuff. But when you're thinking of excluding a category just because of that, there are a huge amount of customers, more and more up and coming, that are requesting this stuff. It's going to be something that is going to, I guarantee you, continue to grow and take market share away from traditional coaxial speakers. So if you fight categories like this, for one, you're going to lose, unfortunately, because it's just going to be the way that the market goes. But you don't have to love or have, I shouldn't even say it that way, you don't have to have everything that you sell in your building in a car. It doesn't have to be something that you would put in your personal car. You just have to know what the quality stuff is in that category. Again, DS18, a great brand that warranties all their product, unlike other pro audio brands. But you have to know the category. You have to embrace it, because this is going to drive huge money. I can tell you definitely, again, with personal stories, some of the largest systems that I've built recently are from DS18. Again, you have some tremendous systems from other brands. Very, very good quality, very, very high price, very great sounding. I can tell you guys, still, some of the biggest, most expensive builds are coming from things like DS18.
And these are Mercedes-Benz owners, BMW owners, Ferrari owners.
Going back to things like the Jeep, when you're putting in a Jeep replacement roll bar, it takes 4 speakers, 4 tweeters, and a driver. You also have to have amplifiers to run all that stuff. Plus, they're going to want tailgate subs. They're going to want speakers in other pods. You're talking about tremendous, tremendous upside versus just replacing out speakers in a factory location.
Just to add, Phil Ben is saying, some of those systems go upwards of $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, guys. The equipment doesn't cost you that much, but it goes up to, can even go up even further more depending on how crazy you get with it.
Just keep adding things on. You can keep adding more RGB.
Yeah.
You can keep adding more speakers. It's tremendous what you guys have the ability to do, and so many people out there willing to part with their money for these systems. Make sure you're the shop that's willing to take it.
And one more thing before I forget. DS18 doesn't just do pro audio, guys. They have their regular G-Series line, which are coaxials. They are not pro audio. They're regular, two-way, three-way coaxials.
Great quality stuff there.
Yeah,
too.
Believe it or not, those sound great. Their EXLs. Have you tried their EXLs? They're 6.5 EXLs with the indented 3-ohm speakers. I've gotten so much feedback on those speakers on how loud and crisp they sound. It's not just about pro audio. They do all sorts of different things. Subwoofers. They got your entry-level Gen X series subwoofers all the way up to their ZR Insane woofers to what is it, the Hippo?
The Hooligans.
The Hooligan subwoofers. Guys, they got from mild to wild. They're not just a pro audio company. So don't look at them as just a pro audio company. Look at them as a overall solution company. And if you need something, absolutely give your sales rep a call here at Go Fast Solutions. We have it in stock. If we don't have it in stock, we can get it very quickly for you in stock or drop ship it to you, whichever you prefer. But it does come back to the importance of go to gofst.com. register so you can see everything that's available for you. And now I'm done.
Yeah, I was going to say thank you to DS18 for being our vendor spotlight, and thank you to all the shops that have helped us make this a popular category and a growing category. It's helped us expand our pro audio outside of DS18 as well, so a huge facilitator. So thank you to DS18 and our wonderful dealer base. And I think now we can finally let these guys get back to work and do their thing.
My throat's dry. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry for the long wind. And once again, this is very unscripted. This is all we have. Little keynotes of what we're gonna talk about. So we take it to the extreme. We want to make sure that you guys are always entertained. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, hit it below so that we do read those comments. D right now is on there answering any questions you have. So if you have any questions or you want to see something in the near future, leave us a comment below and we'll work on it.
Yeah, I think that's it. We'll see you guys next week.
See you next week, guys. Adios.